see what it's like when I try to find out which one is the ball, and you don't really see which one it is. Like yesterday when I was worrying, is it the level for Jesper? Is it the pitch black? So we have Daniel on 9 and 10. Started with the double. We see Nikki on lane 8 with the front 3. And that's what started with the front 2. But not that many strikes as we saw at the beginning of game 1. Okay, that was a good strike for him, even if his body language wasn't so satisfied with the shot.
Sorry, I think the stream just buffered for a second there. It should be going again.
I didn't even notice.
No, I hit the wrong button. That's my bad. It's a lot of buttons to press here. It's easy to press the wrong one. Yep.
It looks a little bit like a plane, where the pilot is sitting. A lot of buttons.
Yep, and there's a big red one that we're not supposed to touch. And I think that's the one I accidentally touched. So.
Ejection.
Should we hop over to another lane, maybe lanes?
Yeah, let's go around so we can see a little bit of action here and there.
It's 9 to 12 we're seeing right here.
As we find Daniel here with the front 3. Daniel just shot 235 on game 1. Let's see if we can see where is she more or less standing. Last squad she was bowling pretty close to the gutter. Maybe not close to the gutter, but close to the outside of the edge, or where some room is still left. She was throwing around board 6 in the arrows, not sending it any further than 5 and 4 maximum. And obviously we're talking about the first couple of games when the lanes were still a little bit fresh. And that's the situation in which we are now. So we're going to have a look and see if she has changed anything, or is she still following the same kind of line she did on the previous squad.
Yes. Skinny Jean is there for Elliot on lane 10. But he picks the spare up.
Let's have a look at what Daniel is doing. The replay active. It's a little bit deeper, definitely, or she missed in? No, she missed in, because that was on the 8 board. It never went any further outside than 6-7. 6-7. Yeah, I couldn't stand it. And there was the ball was deep in the head. And 6-7 for her. I'm gonna bet she's taking the spare. You take the bet? It's a hard one, but
yeah,
why not?
It's a tough one, but
let's send some positive vibes.
It's definitely not impossible. You need a lot less luck on that one than on something like a 7-10.
No chance. Just took one.
Yeah.
All right. I lost a bet.
Ooh, Zacharias Lindqvist there. Gets it very inside, but gets over the Brooklyn. There's the Lucky Larson Masters after all.
Lucky Larson Masters, indeed. You want to go around, or we stay here for a little while?
We can stay here for a bit, I think.
Not so much going on yet.
Oh, looks like a lot of people are having a tough time finding a pocket, or strikes at least.
Is it early transition?
Could be that we've we were spoiled in the previous squad by the amount of really good players we had as well.
That could be also. A lot of high scoring, a lot of good bowlers. It was a little bit like we had yesterday on squad 3 when Team Sweden was pretty much filling up the alley. Yeah, that's a little bit better for Danielle. A little bit light in the pocket. The 5-pin was right in front of the 7, couldn't carry it. But that was more the line she was doing. Previous one, she was a little bit too deep. Missed a little bit left. Andrew Hall is also bowling pretty far outside so far.
Also throwing a urethane ball. Got a flat 10 there, let's have another look at it.
The ball is around 11 on the arrows, went outside to around 4. Maybe just a little bit too far outside.
To me, it just looked like the ball never really had the time to find its way back to the pocket. But it's only a single pin, it's at least not a split.
And it should be a very easy spare for him.
Yep, he is one of the PBA Tour bowlers that we have with us today.
And he takes a spare. So we find 2 squad leaders, Kim Bolivi with just a double after 5 frames, and Andrew Hall with just 1 pin short, 1 double and 1 open frame, also with 5 frames gone. And number 3 was Emil.
Emil was on 1920 last game, I think. Yeah, he's on 16 at the moment.
And he has 1 open frame and no doubles yet. So the 3 leaders are going a slightly slower pace in this second game for now. Nice pair there on lane 2. 53-6-7. But that's 3 times 6-7.
And Andrew Hall there is back on the strike train with a very nice pocket hit. And another 7-pin for Daniel. It's the second in a row, I think.
Indeed. It's looking like the urethane is not giving her enough backhand reaction at the moment. She's probably going to have to adjust a little bit, either the speed or maybe roll it a little bit more on the side, or maybe just go slightly like small adjustment back more outside, like half a board or something like that. It's going to be interesting to see which solution she tries to go for.
Let's actually have a quick look on lanes 17 to 20, because current 4th place Theo Sten has got a 3-bagger to work on over here.
See if he gets the 4th one.
Yes, he will be taking his next shot on 18 after Albin Gullstrand has put in his strike here. See what ball he's throwing. Looks like an Origin, maybe? Origin EX?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, Great shot.
Beautiful reaction. Very nice.
It's a
Very
bit of
nice shot
a
indeed.
shiny red and orange type balls. I think it's an Northern EX.
It could be. It's one of the combinations that some of the bowlers like to use. They grab a solid cover stock ball with some asymmetrical core inside, but then they get the surface to become a little bit smoother by shining it a little bit. And since it's an asymmetrical and low RG, it's already going to make it work in the middle of the lane.
Great shot there by Timothy Tam on lane 20. Really made the pins.
Fly around.
Yeah, fly around. It looks like, in general, that this game in particular has been very slow going for a lot of players.
Yeah, I just saw Chase Nadeau missing the 10 pin. It's the second open frame for him on this game. Just a double, so it's 15, 16 pins under the par currently on this particular game. I can see Kim Bolivi also struggling a little bit to fight on this second game. He's got no open frames, but just one double. Andrew Hall, that was sitting on second spot, he's got one open frame, a couple of doubles. So at the moment 6 over par, but with a double and chance to strike on the 9th, strike on the 10th. Still could go all the way up to 36.
So we just hopped over to lanes 13 to 16 here. Which was a lot more slow going than I was expecting. It's actually one of the north lanes of great boulders. But
Indeed.
you see both Marcus Jansson and Carl Wahlgren have had a really rough beginning to this game. Struggling to find the striking. As Marcus leaves a massive ringing 10 as well.
I see Magnus has moved, Marcus has moved deeper in the lane than he did on the previous squats he has bowled. Previous squats he was staying a little bit longer further outside. But I also have to say, the last squad I even saw him making or attempting a few shots in one game on deeper than 24. It was around 24, 25. It's the deepest I've seen anyone so far this week.
Let's see what Justin Urbano can do here on lane 13. Didn't really hook that ball.
It never changed direction.
Nope.
Just kept going.
There was a concept he was throwing, so that should be hooking. But
Maybe he missed the side and he just made it travel all the way in the oil.
there's Manuel Leiris on lane 16.
Nice shot for him. Good strike. Trying to save the game after a couple of splits.
Yeah, if you
Needs
can.
to strike out for 199.
Yeah, which is good for a bad game. See if Aaron can start bouncing back. Ooh, 4-9.
4-9.
Shot itself didn't look that bad, but it's come in a bit too high, a little bit too much angle, and
Yeah, that's the third split in the game.
Emil back. As we mentioned before, it is a Lucky Larson Masters, and another good break. I see here. let's hop over to 9 to 12 again, because that's where I think most of the striking is actually happening.
Yeah, Danielle is back on track after those 2-7 pins she left. She got a turkey. I did not really see if she did any adjustment, if she changed ball, or so it's going to be interesting to see what goes on the 10th frame for her. If she did any change or just stick to what she was doing and simply do a little bit better.
Yeah, and Andrew Hall, who was in second ahead of this game, has found a striking line again. He can strike out for 236, which would take him to plus 84 in this squad, which would be great, especially since it's his first squad, I think.
Yeah, first attempt.
Looks a bit inside to me, but
yeah, but he found the hole.
yeah.
So it is going to be a 236 game or 235 if he's out of strike, but all the way up to 483 or 484, which is a good start for Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, you might have seen, if you were looking a bit further right on this camera, I think that was Justin Urbano picking up the 6, 7, 10, which you said is not an impossible spare, but you don't see it every day.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an update of what I can see around. Theo Steen, he shot 241 on game 1, 216 on this second game, so total score for him of 457. Let me see if I see any higher anywhere. David Söderlund striking out for a 225 on lane 3. It's gonna go all the way to 440 if he strikes. 9. No, that was Willem, sorry. That's David, 6. And it does strike out, so 225 for a total score of 440.
David provided one of the highlights of the tournament so far. This was last morning, picking up the big 4.
Oh, look at that. Nice pair over there.
Yep.
See how the 10 pin goes back, bounces back, takes the 4, and then the 4 takes the 7. So Andrew Hall, 236, 484 for a total score. Pretty good.
Oh, terrible break there for Sakari Lindqvist. Solid 8.
Yeah, solid 8.
Fantastic shot, but yeah. You can tell on his reaction as well. He thought that one was really good.
That actually is a little bit of an early reading on the ball.
Yeah.
When you leave the 8 pin. Just for any amateur that are listening. If you leave the 8 pin, wasn't really a perfect shot. The angle was slightly weak. Even if it's hard to see on the eye the way the ball is hitting in the pocket.
It's often very fine margins, but there is something. Tiny.
All right, let's have a look at Danielle on lane 9. Solid 10 for her. So it's going to be a 224.
Yep, which could still help her out in the women's standings, which I don't know exactly how that's looking right now, but I know it's Sophie Kjærgaard leading that one on 1370.
Yeah.
Which I even think is going to bring her through in at least the early bird, potentially.
Most probably, yes. Because Danielle takes the spare, easy for her. That's going to be a 224 with the strike. Total score of 459 for her. And everybody's ending their second game, so we'll be back in a minute with a full refreshing of all the scoring. Let me see if we can do a quick update on the scoring now that they are starting this next game. So game 3, squad 2, leading at the moment we have Andrew Hall with 484. Kim Boliby sitting second with 476. Then we find Danielle with 235 and 223. She has 58 over. Theo Steen 57 over. Zacharias Lindquist 54 over. Emil Beck 445. David Sutherland 440. Albin Gullstrand with 439. Michael Gottfries 433. And sitting on 10th, Manuel Ariz with 421. Back into some action. We see we are on 17, 18, 19, 20. With the highest score in here was for Manuel Ariz with 421. Taking his shot now on lane 19. A little bit light in the pocket, 8-pin standing. Another 210 for Marcus Jansson. Looks like it's moved a little bit too deep inside, a little bit too early. But also he's trying to find something that's going to work out for him. I've seen him pretty much bowling all around the lane so far. And if someone can find a way to do it, it's going to be this guy. Super talented, runs on the family. So I'm going to start doing what I usually do. I'm going to go to the very beginning of the bowling alley and I'm going to go scrolling around, see what goes on. Lanes 1 to 4. Who's got the high score here? Theo Steen started with an open frame and then a strike. Timothy Tan with 419. That's the highest two scores we have on these 4 lanes. Moving on to 5 to 8. 458 for Danielle. She's just going to take her shot on lane 6. And bowling right beside her, we find Zacharias with 454 and Kim Boliby with 476. Let's have a look at Danielle bowling pretty further outside this time. And 10 pin for her. Good shot though. Let's have a look at Kim. And a beautiful light strike for Kim. We'll take it, right? Look at the body language. It's like, what is it going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, we made it back. And got the strike. Now see Zachary is on lane 8. A little bit deep in the pocket. 4 pin for him. That should be an easy spare for Danielle on lane 6. There you go. She got it. Now we moved again. We are on lanes 9 to 12. We find Danielle's husband actually with a double, Justin Urbano. Who has the highest score here? David Sutherland, 40 over. Emil Back was there with 45 over. Started with an open frame. Chase Nadeau started with a double as well. Let's have a look at the next pair. Thomas Bianto, Albert Gudstrand, Matthias and Elliot, Jonathan Winigan, and Andrew Hall with spare and a strike, already running with 84 over, which is pretty good score for him. And the last camera we have, it's 421 for Manuel Ariz, and that's pretty much it. We're going to go back to some action into here so we can be with Danielle and Kim Boliby. And we're going to say hello to a new guest. We have a beautiful man sitting down right on my right side. Dan Harding.
Yeah,
how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Always nice to come back to Lucky Larson every year, right?
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. Especially because we had a very wonderful summer down there. It was super hot, super sunny. I've been in the beach and taking some tan. And as soon as I left, my mom sent me a video yesterday that the house was flooded.
Oh,
we had
me.
200 millimeters of water in 1 hour. and actually the whole city was flooded. And
Really?
so when I go back, I need to rent a boat instead of
Yeah.
taking the car back.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely.
So when did you get here, Dan? Tell us a little bit.
I got here yesterday, and then I played my first squad last night. I found that the lanes get super tight, so I was just like, all right, well, going to try reactive today and see what happens, really. Andrew Hall's playing really good. I was watching him earlier on, just
Mhm.
now, and he looks like he's playing really, really good. I don't know if he's gone to reactive yet, but he's been trying to stay in urethane for as long as possible.
We got him there on lane 16, taking a shot now, somewhere around 12 to 6, and the shape of the ball is looking pretty consistent, to be honest.
Yeah, he's looking really good. I think he's gone back to about 240 or something close to that, so he looks really good.
We got the games over there. You want to see 248 and 236 for Andrew, currently leading the score with 84 over par.
Yeah, he's playing good. Kim's doing well. Kim's finding it.
Kim was fighting a little bit with himself on game 2, but he managed to survive it with a few strikes at the very end
Okay.
to save that 227. He didn't had any open frames. You know, one of those games where you find strike on one lane, but you don't find it in the other one. That was a little bit what it was looking for him on the last game.
When the lanes are really different, like in the sense of like how they're playing, it's so hard to then try and carry on striking every time. You just kind of, like you say, he's had 220 there though, so he's struck enough on that right lane, or whatever the correct lane was, and he's cleaned out a nice 220, and he can move on now.
You need to keep the patience on your mind, because as you see, the scores are getting higher and higher, and if you start worrying yourself because you're not striking in one certain lane, and you start putting extra pressure, then you're not going to strike for sure. And then instead of saving a 210 or 220, you're going to go down to 170, 180, and then you have a hard work to get back from that.
Especially with what everyone's saying the cut's going to be. Everyone's saying it's going to be around 1380, and I think if you have 180, 170, you're
Actually, we are going to ask you to make an exact prediction, because
Yes.
I'm writing down predictions by everyone that shows by. You shouldn't be watching, so you don't know what the others one said. And the only one who's going to keep changing whatever I wrote down is going to be me. So I'm closer to the cut.
So you're cheating.
I'm cheating, of course, but I'm
Sounds like Spanish league, Louis.
exactly. I'm gonna see if I can find any pen somewhere. Yes, Victor is the man. He's a multitask, as we said before. So we're gonna write down here, Mr. Don Harding. So what's gonna be your prediction then? Go ahead.
Oh.
Shoot.
I reckon anywhere between 1365. I reckon it's a cut.
1365.
Yeah, I'll go generous. I think they're going to be a little lower than that because I feel like the centre's going to get super tight through the week. How much urethane's playing. But
Okay.
what's the other side so far? Am I see now?
Yeah, of course. Victor set 1353. I had something around Victor's, but after I bowled my first quad, I said no, it's going to be higher. So I cheated and I went for 1375. Martin Larsen set 1379. Carl Icklund set 1380. Matt McNeil set 1381. That's Robert Anderson, 1377, and then we have you with 1365.
Maybe I'm not pessimistic of the field, but I just feel that the scores will at some point maybe drop off or stabilize.
I think we're going to expect a little bit of a different transition when there is a little bit more of reactive going on the lane.
Yes.
But I'm also curious about which kind of transition is that going to cause. Is it going to push us too far inside, or is it actually going to make the lane a little bit easier? Because the middle of the lane is not as dry as it was a year ago.
Yeah, I do really think it's going to be a squad-to-squad dependent sort of tournament this year. Like if you get a good squad with some really great players and you can catch the great players, then you're going to score millions. But if you're in a field of, let's say if you're throwing, like for myself, right, if I'm playing with Motive, and I'm playing a field of urethane, I'm going to have to really try and get reactive to work at some point because I can't really compete with that stuff.
No, it's hard.
So it's going to be really squad dependent, right? I think that the scores will actually be more if people throw reactive after a few games. That's just my thought process on it.
But I agree with you.
Like I tried to shape the lane up a little bit last night, and I think I started with the wrong urethane last night in terms of just cover. But it was simply the lane hooks from game one. Like they are apparently really, really a lot high friction. But as you saw there with Carl, his ball just saw the lane completely and just hooked. So I think that it's going to be very dependent on squad. Just squad, who you follow. how much rev rate there is.
I agree with that, because also if we could find a little bit more of a steady reaction further outside than it is, then I wouldn't mind that people is using a lot of urethane, because you just stay outside of them and use them as a hold instead.
Okay, so all those years ago of your bowling, and
When,
I know you're
when
young,
I had hair in my head, you mean?
what would you say you would do on this? Like urethane,
If
reactive?
if I found this kind of a pattern when I was a good bowler, I would probably bowl pretty straight around board number 6, like low rev rate shot, more bowling like the follow through that we did back in the day. Instead of trying to grip the ball, just roll it completely. Be very much forward. I mean, a very much forward roll, and not try to send it out, especially in the first 2 or 3 games. I would try to make my misses what I call check in the room. You know, missing one to the left and making sure it still strikes and doesn't give me a solid 10. And after that, honestly, if we were back on that days, probably after 6 games I would move 3 boards my feet. Nowadays, depending on who you follow, even at the warm-up, you have already moved 10 boards to the left, and it's like, okay, I had a plan in my mind, but the plan is already gone.
Marcus Jansson's doing something close. That was not a great shot. I don't think anything he missed left, but I think that he's doing the right idea with reactive anyway.
The first thing, when me and Victor were talking on squad number 1, and we were talking a little bit about which bowlers were coming, which players were coming, even if I set myself to try to do that line I told you right now, to try to stay outside and bowl very, very simple, my idea to do that was because it was supposed to be my A game. Somehow it's lost in my brain. But what I said to him, I'm pretty sure that EJ, when he shows up, is going to bowl inside and just going to keep his break point around 12, and then just wait for the lane to open up and keep moving in. Because he's very good at using that final cliff, the deepest cliff on the pattern. And the deepest one in here is on 12. So it still allows you, I'm talking about breakpoint only, use 12, and if you miss to 10, 11, 10, 9, it's still going to come back. And if you miss to 12, 13, it's still going to go a little bit longer.
I think what he might think though is the drop off of the oil, how fast, like the cliff, how cliffed it is, like you say. That if he has that miss to the right, it's gonna see the lane way too much, and it's gonna nose dive into the face, right? He could pick up maybe the shadow, maybe even a spire if he feels that confident about it. Play the first 5 boards pretty straight, like
Pretty
he did,
straight,
like he did. I think it was a couple of years back. He did that. Played really straight, and then as soon as the lane tells him he's ready to, and he's maybe grinded 240 like Andrew's here, it's a go time into reactive. You might pick up a shock or
just jump in and
throw it at the gutter. That's what I tried to do yesterday, and it looked pretty good. It was just a case of pair to pair and just working out pair to pair. But I reckon he's got 2 ideas, and I reckon he'll always find it, won't he?
It's actually cool that you mentioned that, because I was watching when you were doing the warm-up, and I remember telling you I really loved watching the way you did the warm-up, because it's not so often that you see a bowler that really knows what he's doing with the lane during the warm-up. And I'm going to explain for the people who wasn't watching. You spent, I would say, at least 5 or 6 minutes throwing the spare ball instead of any other ball. And I said to myself, I think he's trying to generate a little bit of extra miss room on the inside from what he's going to do once the warm-up is done. And there are some bowlers that do have an idea on how to create a little bit of area by sending some ball and throwing it on the outside of the target that they are intending to do. But it's a very little amount of bowlers that really understand that they can also create area on the inside by throwing a ball that pushes the oil a little bit further down. And I'm not going to say impressed, but I'm going to say I was happy to see someone who thinks and not only just grabs the ball and bowls.
Yeah, I feel like in this generation, in this day and age now with the urethane, people have gone to the case of just closing their eyes and throwing the ball. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying no one's good, but my generation has been growing up on urethane for so long, and it creates so much miss room, especially with the purple. Now we don't have that ability to create that massive miss room we have. And the pattern, we haven't played on a pattern like this in years.
Yeah.
right? So when I saw it and I saw the first couple squads and I saw the ball just nose diving half the time, I was like, I don't want to risk that. Then I spoke to Nate Purchase, who I'm rooming with this week, and we were just chatting. And I said I might try and throw the spare ball in the practice for like 5 to 8 minutes, just to create a little bit of hold to my left, and then play straighter. And I just picked up the wrong urethane. I picked up the Rampage, and I probably should have picked up the Shadow. And I think that again today will be a good idea, depending on that. But I was on the lane with Tomo and Carl, and they started. Well, Tomo not so
deeper, yeah,
so
but they are
deep,
deeper, yeah.
38 feet. I felt okay. Maybe I don't see that, but then I actually saw the urethane push really early because it was so deep. It was just pushing it to the right. So I made a pretty bold decision. I wasn't I wasn't against my decision. I don't think I broke below 200, so I had 200 every game. I didn't have enough of a 200. Like it was 210, so it's close. But like you say, I think it's just going to be the ideas. People's going to have ideas. People are going to come with tricks.
I think in my head, if I bowl the second squad, which I haven't decided yet, I'm not gonna go outside anymore because I've been having some issues with. It's a little bit humid in the bowling alley, and I forgot to bring enough powder to get my thumb dry, and because the pitches I have now on my bowls are for when because you've been in Spain, you know, the patterns in there. It's always go inside and just grip it. So the pitches I have on my balls are meant to be going inside and do the yo-yo.
Yep.
So when I try to do the regular 90s shot that we don't do any yo-yo because the pitches are not like they were a little bit reverse, if I'm not really clean on my thumb, then I start getting stuck on it. And that's what happened the other day. It was one good shot, 5 really bad shots where I had to really no control. And since I see if I'm patient enough for a couple of games, the lane is going to come to me. My plan, if I bowl again, is start already around 13, 14, and put the break point, as I said, around 11, and just wait for it. Just because for me, it's very easy to slow down the speed and try to bowl a little bit more like a control shot. And let's see what happens. Just wait for it, see if I can save a couple of 200s. And then if the lane opens up and you feel a little bit inspired, whatever, try to shoot 950 on the last 4, and maybe not make the cut, but don't look so bad.
I actually think that the lanes are actually getting like into that situation where you could possibly even do that, because I watched Andrew Hall in the last frame of the first game pick up a spawn. It's not a massive ball, but he picked up the spawn, and he put a 10 back flush, and it was like, okay, wow, like. These are already super tight in terms of throwing reactive, but he went back to the urethane just to shore up and stuff, and I think he's still throwing the urethane. I'm not too sure.
It looks like that. Taking a shot now on 15.
Yeah, he is.
Slightly deeper or missed in?
He has missed.
Missed in, and he got the room.
And I think that's what the urethane is now creating, because after practice, it was like Amanda said from Team Sweden, she said, by that time, it's 41 feet already. It's stretched in practice 10 minutes. Everyone's playing the urethane and not so much setting up the lane, just throwing it to create shin.
All right, Victor, do we see anybody scoring high? We should have a little bit of a look. Not only Andrew, but Kim was doing good after the first 2. And kind of lost a little bit what goes on. Oh, Kim Bollaby doing pretty good. Spare, double, spare, 4 in a row. Entering the 9th frame on lane number 8.
Must not be angry with himself anymore.
Oh, he's looking pretty consistent now.
Oh, a little bit of hold there. That was good. I was talking to him yesterday when we were playing the squad. He said he just needed to reset and find something. He came back today and he said, I'm playing 2 more squads and that is it. I've got this squad and the next squad. If I don't find it, I'm not coming back. He said, I'm just going to deal with the first couple, see what I can do. And by the looks of it, he's crushing it now.
It looks like he's put himself that mindset, like it's now or never.
I feel like Kim is one of those bowlers who just always finds a way. He's very good.
He's very competitive. I used to bowl when I was a kid. His father used to come down to bowl the tournament in Mallorca and Barcelona. You remember Ulf Hamnes,
No,
the Norwegian coach? It was Team Sweden. It's that kind of bowler, a little bit Mats Carlson school.
Okay, okay.
You know, bowlers with glasses, pretty straight line, but super accurate, super focused all the time. So Kim, in a way, is a little bit his father in a modern style.
Okay.
Because he's not a cranker, obviously.
Mm. He's just more of a placement player.
Mm?
He's good. That Mathis, he's been trying to throw reactive. He apparently his bowling balls are in Paris. They don't get his bowling balls over
Oh.
to Sweden. They come tomorrow apparently. He says no urethane. I don't think.
So he has the ball where he has here.
Yeah. So he's throwing. I think we worked out was an intent. Intel, and he's been throwing that. I'm not sure how he's bowling, what his score's like, but I felt quite hard for him because his urethanes are in Paris and he's on 38, right? So
He's going to be on par. He's shooting 179 now. He had a couple of open frames there. So, but with the strike is a 598. But that's the line more or less I was talking about. You said that 12-10, 13-10.
do you think this is going to be a dependent on rev rate sort of thing, like a high rev rate will win this, or do you think more a placement player will win this?
It's hard to know because, in a way, I feel it's a pattern that allows you to bowl even if you don't have such a big rev rate. It's not one of those that you have to start flying the ball on the left gutter. But as we were saying before, if all of a sudden all the good bowlers start using resin instead of urethane and the line keeps moving deeper and deeper, especially on the final when it's a little bit longer format, it could happen like that. It could happen that it could push the people a little bit deeper. And as soon as you go a little bit deeper, if you don't have that power on your hand, then you struggle a little bit. You don't carry as much, even if you find the right ball to put on to generate that little bit of extra angle. But the bad shot, you know, you get a little bit less of a messenger hits and stuff like that. So 1-9 here, 1-9 there. If it happens once per game, that's already 20 pins gone.
Yeah, I agreed on that. Zacharias has so much rev rate. He looks pretty good early. I don't know how he's getting on now.
He's looking for a 225 if he strikes out. Total score of 79 over after 3.
Pretty good.
And Danielle is doing pretty good as well. She's doing super steady, 235, 223. She's working on a strike already again on the 10th. Looking for the 230. No, it was the 11th. So she's working on another 237 game. So she's going to go all the way to 695 with a strike.
That's good. That's good.
And that was a 8 spare for Kim. It's going to go to 720.
I think the next person closest to that will be Andrew Hall. He's pacing 240 again, or 250.
258 if he strikes out. That's 90 pins more, so that would put him on 742.
Finding a way. He's got a good number. He said he literally said to me, he said, I'm going to try and throw urethane for as long as possible. And it looks like he's just absolutely yamming it. He said, I'm just going to throw it. He's going to knuckle it. He said, as long as I keep it in front of me, I'm good to go. And, well, he's crushing it.
I think the only urethane ball I've liked is the IQ 78. Every other ball I used, especially last year when I was a free agent for first time in many, many years. Paco in Madrid, because he's running Hammer. He sent me a few Brunswick balls. And one of the balls he shipped was obviously the purple Hammer. And I drilled 2 or 3 balls, and I had that one with me. It was sitting in the back when I was testing the other balls, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I forgot to test that purple Hammer. And I was actually practicing on a pattern that had very little room outside. As soon as I missed more than one board, it was 2-8-10 or not even hitting the bucket. And the first shot I did with that purple Hammer, I think I missed 3 boards to the right on the target. So it was like 5 or 6 boards down there, and the ball came back and struck. And I grabbed the ball from the ball return, put it back in the bag. I said, this ball is cheating. I'm not going to use it. And I never use it anymore.
No comment on that one.
So it was a waste of a ball he gave me. I felt sorry about it. So the next thing I said, I know the 78 is coming, but don't send it to me. I'm not going to use it.
Well, talking to a few of the guys, they're not super big fans of it. They love the black hammer, but they feel like the purple hammer's got so much flair on it. But it seems like Andrew's finding a way with it.
I thought it was going to be a little bit, because when I bowled for Storm, we had several attempts to try to get something like that. And I said, I think this ball is going to be a little bit like the Rubicon, the urethane Rubicon we had. that it was a little bit like over-under. You kept some surface, and he had so much flare that he would hook way too early and have nothing back for the last part of the lane. And as soon as you shine it a little bit, or you, but I'm not a fan of urethane. I don't have the rev rate. I don't especially have the speed. So unless I want to practice the 10-pin, I don't use the urethane.
It's quite interesting. People are still like, because it's so early in the week, everyone's still testing things and finding a way. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of bowlers here that I see that are close, but I feel like they're going to score a bunch at some point. I feel like Chase Nadeau. I reckon he'll find a way pretty soon. He's on 640 right now. But I reckon he plays for Storm, right? So I reckon the longer the lane gets into reactive, the better for them guys, right?
Yes.
I obviously don't know much about the IQ78 and the new Pitch Black, but apparently they're pretty good.
The new Pitch Black I haven't tried, but the IQ78 for me, when I drill it, it took me 2 days to drill a second one. And as I said, I hate urethane. But what happened with that ball, as I said before, you have been in Spain, you know, everybody uses the purple hammer and everybody uses the same area of the lane and all the patterns are exactly the same. Yeah. So what that IQ78 allowed me to do, the first time I tested, I throw 2 shots and I said, no, I need to polish it. So I polished it, and then I drilled the second one, also polished with a different layout. So I had 1 pin down, 1 pin up. I would start with the pin down, and as soon as it became a little bit weak, simply switch to the pin up. And what happened is because those balls were hooking so little, they allowed me to bowl outside the purple hammer guys, and then I used them as a hold. So I really fell in love with that IQ78. It was, for me, it was a wonderful ball. Wonderful addition in the arsenal.
Oh, the scores have been updated now. Here we go.
Yes, so we have Andrew Hall on the lead with 731. Then we find Kim Boley with 723. Number 3 is Danielle with 693. Zacharias is 4th, 678. David Sutherland, 675. And then we drop down a little bit, 25 pins lower is Albin Gullstrand, 650. Theo Steen, 649. Chase Nadeau, 646. Mikael Godfrey, 623, and Timothy Tam with 622 all the way from Singapore.
Wow. I've noticed that the straighter bowlers with Danielle and Andrew are playing quite straight angles, as teaming to get less of a variation, which is great. Obviously, that's what you need when it's straight. Kim's on the left. I don't think there's many lefties in this squad, so he's getting fresh pretty much most squads, most pairs. Oh, there's Albin, actually. Albin. I don't know if they're on the same cross.
I saw 1 or 2 more lefties. Also, there was a lefty on lane 19.
That's something as well.
Or no, sorry, it was a lane 18. But yeah, compared to the previous squad there was a moment. The first 4, they were all lefties.
Really?
And how the heck is that? After 3 games, it was 4 lefties.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how is that possible when there are like 6 of them playing?
Yeah.
But then things scrambled a little bit. Or got shaken, or you correct me, you're the Englishman, not me.
I feel like Danielle has so much time playing that urethane to the right. Looks really good. It feels like she has a lot of time and a lot of time, like, she can...
And the previous game, she was a little bit unlucky because she had a double. Then she made, I think it was a baby split. I don't remember, spared. And then she had twice in a row the 7-pin, where you could see the 5 crossing by just in front of the 7-pin, and that happened 2 times in a row. And then she made like 5 or 6 in a row. So it could have been a 270 instead of she got 235.
I don't think she's worried. She's 100 over almost a 3. She's chasing. As long as she stays patient, as Danielle does, she's very, very, very good. So I'm sure she'll.
And she also has the advantage that they have the 2 spots for the ladies.
Oh, okay.
Available.
I don't think at this rate, I don't think she'll need it.
No, and actually that the Danish girl Sophie, she shot 1370.
Wow.
So that spot might be enough because she also was playing on an early bird squad. So that's still gonna remain a couple of spots free for other women. We have 2 spots, 1 spot for the turbo on game 5.
Okay.
One spot for the Turbo on game 6. Then we have 2 spots for the seniors over 50, 2 spots for the under 21, 2 spots for the ladies, 4 spots for the early birds.
Sounds like everyone gets a spot.
I was asking if we could get a free spot for the streaming guy, but they haven't agreed to that yet.
Maybe soon, right?
Maybe soon, maybe soon.
Oh, there's another lefty actually on lane 3.
Let's have a quick look around. Marcus Jansson and Carl Wargren on lane 1, Mathis Blanchette and Daniel on lane 2. That's actually 4 very talented bowlers in that pair.
Very talented.
Looking around on 3 and 4, we find Noel Reis, we find Kim Lingvold, Martinez, and Zacharias Lindquist. Zacharias is already with 78 overs, so he's doing quite good. Carl is not having a happy squad. He had 3 or 4 splits on game 2, I think.
Yeah, I think he'll find a way. He always does. Carl's very good.
That was a 7. You saw the 7 on Daniel?
Yeah.
Exactly like that. It was last 2 were exactly the same way.
Yeah, that's good.
Now moving along, if we move to 5, 6 to 8, we find Theo Steen, Roger Samuelsson, Justin Urbano, Mikael Gottfries, Leif Nyberg, Timothy Tam, Emil Beck, and William Vianto. On lanes 9 to 12, we find Stephanie Laris, Peter Scarf, Thomas Vianto, the other lefty, Albin Gullstrand. He's been bowling a lot of squads, but he hasn't found it yet. Albin. Then we find Gustav Eriksson, Kim Boliby, spare strike for starting. Kim is second currently with 123 over. Bowling with them on lane 12, we find Matthias Sjolin and Jonathan Winnigan. If we move another camera all the way to 13, 14, 15, 16. That was not the best shot by Chase on lane 15. But bowlers 13 and 14, David Sutherland, Robert Stockholm, Felicia Johnson, Mia Mott, Lova Nilsson, Chase Nadeau, Robin Holsten, and Fredrik Abramson. What do we have here?
Sounds like great bowlers in every pair.
It's a lot of good bowlers indeed. Let's move to the last corner. Matthias Ulfheim, Elliot Molin, Mikael Nyberg, William Hulén, Oskar Miden, Andrew Hall is going to take a shot now on lane 19. Let's see what he's doing.
Still throwing that urethane.
Urethane.
A little left as well.
Yeah, he moved a little bit, slightly weak 10 over there. And then we have Nike Liejeblad and Jonathan Samuelsson on lane 20. Shall we stick here and have a look at Andrew Hall for a while?
Sounds good. It seems like Andrew Hall is just simply playing the long game in the sense of he's trying to stay in that urethane for as long as possible. Still, game 4. He honestly thought, he said he would be in it way early. He thought game 2, game 3, but he looks like he's been able to stay in it for longer and longer and longer.
Oui. Yeah, I look back from the beginning. Bit on the side. That's still surprising me, to see this kind of players missing single pins.
It happens, man. I missed 3 makeables yesterday.
Really?
I missed a 3-6-10.
Oh my.
I missed a 7 pin. That was not good.
I missed only one, and it because I got so stuck. I nearly did a machuga on that
Oh,
that
God.
particular spare. I was like, oops, and that already got me so angry. Not because of the ball getting stuck, because missing one single pin when I'm bitching every fucking squad.
You love
not to
your
miss.
spares. You always talk about it, especially with the youth, right?
Yeah, but the youth is like 8 strikes, 9 miss, 9 miss. 8 strikes, 9 miss, 9 miss. Of course they make 245 and you end up making 220 because you make 9 spare, double, 9 spare, 9 spare, double, 9 spare, 9 spare, double.
Yeah. I feel like my generation is a sense of just keep striking and whatever doesn't happen then just keep strike more just to cover it.
But I think it's also, it's not your generation to blame. I think it's a little bit my generation to blame because we are the ones putting the patterns on the lanes. If we haven't given you this kind of shape over and over and over and over again, and we wouldn't let you bowl 250 average 4 out of 5 days, and we forced you to bowl 210 like it was back in the day. 215, you were on the step ladder pretty much on the
Wow.
90s.
Really?
It was. And if I go back to when I was a kid and my father was the one playing with wooden lanes, 200 was like
Like
super good.
300.
I'll put you an example. When I bowled the European Championships in Nottingham 1996, that event that it's singles, doubles.
Andrew Hall's ball changed.
Yeah, after that week then, yeah? Nice. That event that it's singles, doubles, trios.
Okay.
You remember? Is it still going on, this kind of European Championships?
I don't think so. I don't think
You had 6 bowlers, and you bowled singles, doubles, trios, and 5-man.
EMC. They do that in EMC now.
Could be, I don't know. They keep changing the names.
Yeah, I think they
The
do it
thing
in
is,
championships.
the gold medal in singles, which was the first event, it was 1280 something.
Okay.
Then we bowled the doubles, and the highest score, still nobody shot 1300.
Okay.
Then we bowled the trios. I shot 1360. I had played really bad the first 2 days. At that 1360 put me up to the top again. And then when we bowled the 5-man team, Spain, we got the medal, and we bowled like maybe 205 average.
Okay.
So it was a big lower gap. And I mean, back then, when you made it 300, it meant something. Nowadays, it's like, hey, you just play blindfolded, you make another 300. How many 300s a week some of these kids do? Like Matthias Hotning or this kind of kids.
All the time.
It's crazy.
I was speaking to Kim Bollaby last night when we were playing the squad. I had a little chat with him. He said the bowling is getting more and more and more defensive. You don't want to risk your ball shape. You don't want to risk the move. And I understand 220 is good, right? But you can even witness on tour when they're averaging 250 to make cut or 240 to make cut. There's an element of risk involved there. They're not defensive.
No, that's true.
And I've always wondered, is bowling a defensive sport? Is it a more of attacking sport? Is there times where defensive works better?
I think you need to be smart on when you need to play defensive and when you need to be offensive. But also, probably, that's the old man talking again, because we used to bowl in that little bit of different conditions. I'll give you another example. The first time I went to Diggerfors, that was the town of Thomas Leandersson, before he passed away. I was 14, I believe. It was the year 1995. And Thomas had been the bowler of the year 1993. So it was just 18 months before I got to his bowling alley. Bowler of the year. I mean, that was a super bowler.
Of course.
We were bowling against Tim Mack, Tori Torgis, and all this kind of, but Mika Koibinemi was still playing in Europe. Thomas, on his office, he had the score sheet hanging from the Swedish league because it was his only 300 game.
Wow.
And he was the bowler of the year.
That's consistency.
That's what I mean. It puts you back on how different it was back then.
And I think that, for instance, EJ's what, 32 now? He's in that bridge where like he's seen it all and he's still playing now in the highest level and he's the best. Do you believe that he had, like, that's the benefit of him? He has the elements of the old guard of the good bowling, the toughness, the good shots making, the 220s good enough, but then he has the power game and the strength for the new day where he can go run at 260 every shot.
It's actually funny because last night I'm staying here in Helsingborg. I'm staying in the house of a former bowler, Team Sweden, Patrick Bowman. He left bowling many years ago, but he was not only one of the best bowlers in Europe, but also very good at witnessing the game. He still today he can see the game. And we were talking a little bit about bowling and how I did on the first squad and if I was going to bowl again and what could you do, because he still feel like a coach, because when I was a kid he was one of the first coaches I had. And then I said, we were talking about modern bowling and so, and I said, have you seen E.J. Tackett? He said, no, I haven't seen him yet because he's out of bowling. And then I said, let's have a look at him. I showed him only 2 bowlers. I showed him E.J. Tackett because I said it's like what the two-handers can do in terms of power, but translate it to a one hand. That somehow inside our brain as a one-handed bowler feels like it should be a little bit more consistent and easier to repeat. So then he saw him and he's like, fuck, he's good. He's good. You can see he's good. And the second bowler I showed him, it was Ethan Fury.
Zaka, if you want to switch to Zaka, he's playing-
Zachary is
yeah.
striking a lot over there, yeah. And also we have Robert over there
Yeah,
with
Robert,
quite
yeah.
some strikes. But let's move all the way to the left side with Zacharias bowling on 3 and 4 with the spur and 5 in a row. So I was saying the second bowler I showed him, it was Ethan Fury.
Oh, clean.
Because the thing is, for me as a coach, I did coach a lot of young bowlers, two-handeds up here in Sweden. But when I saw Ethan, the first time I saw him, it was like, now I understand how it goes.
Mhm.
Now I can do and fix the one-handed senior bowlers that decided to start bowling two hands.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that happens when you have been bowling one hand for 20 years and you try to bowl two hands, you're never going to get the speed on the legs. It feels like you're running in against Usain Bolt or whatever. So by seeing Ethan doing the push away a full step delayed compared to most of the others, it was like, okay, now I can do that. So that's the other bowler I show him, and when he saw it, he saw like, that's like a two-hand old school in
yeah,
a way.
Yeah. But no, those are great bowlers to show, and it's really interesting to know that like how the generations kind of merge and all sorts. It's really good. But like Zaka, right? Zaka, I think he's about 19, 18 years old. I'm not 100% sure on that. Victor may know better than me on his age. Okay, he'll look it up.
It's going to find out. He's
but
our Wikipedia, Victor.
He's super good. Super high rev rate. But as a two-hander, his power, whoa, I've not seen power like that is very rare, the amount of power he generates off his hand. Whenever he turns up. He's about to bowl, I think. Yes. He generates so much power.
I think it's thinking time for Danielle at the moment. She's hitting the pocket super consistently, but the ball isn't carrying as it was doing a couple of games ago or last game either. It's time to think, what do I want to do? Do I want to slow down a little bit? Do I want to move a little bit and generate a bit of spin if I want to remain with that ball? Or should we start thinking of changing ball and moving a little bit?
Thing is, on that pair, it's quite hard because obviously you're going to use the other players on your pair to get the idea
To
right.
find out, yeah.
And she's probably just watched Kalle, and he's thrown it to the right, got it pretty good, and it's just nosedive to the pocket, to the face. So it'll be a bit of a risk. I know she's a lot straighter than Kalle. Maybe her less rev rate could help that. But again, it's quite difficult to make a choice like that. That's a great spare.
Nice.
That was a great
nice spare
spare.
for caught. Look at that again.
Textbook. Zacharias is 20. Okay. Younger than me.
Still, yeah.
I feel old. So Andrew's gone back to urethane. He's got 3 in a row.
It looked like that ball that he chose after the 9 miss. His stroke on the 10 and the 20, but then when he shot on the 19, he didn't even hit the headpin.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely depends on the core in the sense of what you're throwing. Like I threw the Evoke Exterior last night, and I felt like it hooked a bunch, but I saw someone else throw something close to it, and it just wasn't right. And I feel like it's going to be definitely dependent on what you take and cover stock and core for this, especially with how much urethane's now going to be thrown because you're in Europe. Because maybe in America he would have been in it for 2 games, and then after that he'd have been into
Just switch in and move. Yeah.
These guys, we've got a bunch of 20-year-olds, and we all grew up with urethane, right? I think that's been like that for maybe 10 years now, 12 years now. So everyone is used to just throwing urethane for 6 games from 44 feet, let alone 38. So this makes it even happier for the guys over here. And I feel like even with Chase is struggling a little bit to carry the pins. He's 9'd a lot over on lane 16, but he's finding a way, I think, slowly to work out how to throw the urethane. And he's going to try and stick with it, and he's only IQ 78. I just think it's going to be a case of sticking in urethane for as long as possible.
Yeah, that game Chase is doing, it reminds me of what I was accomplishing the other day. Just a couple of strikes, a lot of spares going on.
The spares keep you close.
The thing is, when you make 4 games only sparing, all of a sudden you look up and like, oh, you need to make 580 all of a sudden.
That is the thing, right? And I've always said that. I say it. Sparing is great. I think sparing is the most important thing in your game. But at the same time, you can't spare too often. Because if you spare out for 220 and then you're back
No,
to 60,
it's game over. It's game
you're
over.
chasing again, aren't you? So, and then you get pressure on yourself when you start thinking about it. Like,
Mm.
I'd rather go 3 in a row or 2 in a row, spare, and then reset and go, okay, what went wrong? Where if I'm just tapping, it's a bit harder to go, okay, let's make a move, because if I make a wrong move and I split, all of a sudden I'm shooting
Then,
180.
then all of a sudden, instead of 190 something, you go down to 160.
Exactly that.
The one thing I haven't seen so many do, of course, it's not many PBAs here yet, and it was a lot of young bowlers. But I saw many of them with urethane use, and all of a sudden, when they had to change the reactive, they didn't really had the surface prepared to do that jump, and many they had that too much of polished in a way. So whenever they were inside, the ball was never making it back. And whenever they missed slightly to the outside, the ball was jumping like a kangaroo. And obviously, I'm not going to say names, but there was a couple of the young ones. I said, why don't you have something prepared for when that happens? You cannot have 4 reactives and all of them have exactly the same surface.
I think what it is just they're not used to having to get into reactive, especially this short or in this sort of field. I don't think they actually really expect them to get into resin as often as they think they might have to. I think that it's a double-edged sword, right? If you don't switch early enough, it could harm you, and if you switch too early, it can harm you, right? So there's always a sweet spot of changing, like. But at the same time, I think if you don't have your surfaces set up, I think my coach has always said that. I think you know Steve Thornton.
Oh, Steve.
He's my coach for the last 10 years.
My God. Give him a big hug whenever you see him from me. I haven't met him for last time. I think it was in the Woltemp Masters, so it had to be in 13-9, not 1300. I wasn't born. Yeah,
2013,
1999 or 2000.
Oh, wow.
2000 was the last Woltemp Masters I bought. Well, the Woltemp Masters, and then was the first Weber Cup edition was that
so
year.
he didn't have grey hair at that time.
No, it was starting to lose some. I had a lot of hair.
He had grey hair then.
I had
He has grey hair now.
perfect hair I had back then.
Yeah, so
Actually, they had that really got me angry, because they made a small magazine. These guys from Matchroom Sports, when they were doing this, the World Champion Masters, and you could see Pagne Pomuccino, 4 times world champion, Thomas Leandersson, bowler of the year, Tori Torgersen, best bowler ever in Norway. And then when they put my name, it said the Latin lover. And what the fuck is that about the Latin? Why don't you say anything about the bowling instead?
the Latin lover.
That's what it said. That's what I still remember. I'm still angry about it.
Send him an email. 20 years later.
Oh my God. And then the first match I bowled with Gary Verbruggen. Destroyed him. Then I bowled with...
him.
I did, but Gary used to hate me.
Humble.
No, but I mean, it was 2 bowlers in Europe that every time I faced them, I destroyed them, and they really hated me. The other one, I have a lot of esteem for him, Hakim Grabowski from Germany.
Okay.
I used to call him Hakim the Dream, because it was the times of Hakim Olajuwon on the NBA. Hakim was one of the best bowlers in Europe. And I remember, for example, bowling the European singles, when it was like a giant round robin of you faced every single country. And I would do, I don't know, play against Portugal, 190. Play against, I don't know, San Marino, 190. All of a sudden, Hakim, 279. Next game, Gary, 260 something. Next game, whatever bad country, 180 again.
Yeah.
And they were looking at me like, why you always make 270 against me, and then you make 180 with the... I don't know.
No. See here, Andrew Hall, he opened in that 3rd frame, but he's had 4 bagger and he's got himself back to 2-0 if he spares this. Or 2-10.
217, yeah.
And I think he's playing back in the urethane. He's playing pretty good. Went a little bit early that last shot. I think he'll make a move this shot. But yeah, no, I think it's just the fact that Stevie, he's always told me to, play straight, play good. Taught me everything I know, and he's super good.
I was a great bowler, great guy. It was a bunch of very cool people in...
Chase has gone to reactive and struggling a little bit
soft
there.
end again, yeah.
But
Was, Wayne Green also was a great guy back then.
yeah.
Who else was bowling back time? The Bach brothers, Jeff Bach and so.
Yeah.
With Pauline also.
You had Paul Delaney.
Paul Delaney, yeah,
Paul Delaney.
Paul, that's true.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Delaney.
Richard Hood, I remember Richard Hood.
You had Paul Moore as well back then, just coming up.
He was just starting. He was
just
he was the
coming up.
young one, yeah. And obviously Dominic wasn't even there yet. Barrett.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think the old guys do love watching this though, like in the sense of like Steve, right? I was talking to him last night. I said, "This is how I feel, such and such," and he goes, "Oh, okay, or bowl better." I was like, "All right,
Bowl better, yeah.
okay, yeah, we'll do, mate. Thanks, mate. Thanks, buddy."
Easy said than done,
He
yeah.
was like, "Try this, maybe you're seeing this," and like give me some ideas. But yeah, no, how's Kim getting on now? Kim Bolaby.
Let's see if we find him.
He's on lanes. I think that's 13, 14.
226 for him, so it's going to be
Pretty good.
149 over with a strike.
It's pretty good.
Nice score. Let's see what else is doing good. I see 914 for Zacharias in lane 4. A potential 900 for Danielle if she doubles on the 10th. And then obviously the lanes we are watching at with some striking for Royal Stockrona. David Soderlund striking out for 910.
That's pretty good. You got 880 over there with a.
That's the last
910,
one.
and you have.
Oh, that was.
That was deep.
Mm. All right, so he saved the game anyway, 231.
So it's good. It's a good game. What do you reckon you'll need to? I reckon keep it 220, high 220s, mid 230s, and I think that'll be pretty close for the block.
The thing is, you asked me, and I felt so terribly bad when I bowled the other day.
Yes.
That it's like I have no idea. The only thing I want to do, at least make sure that the thumb gets out of the bowl. That's the only thing I'm going to ask for whenever I bowl next. If that happens, then it's fine. Because reading the lane is not such a big mystery.
Unless you've not got it at all, and then there is a mystery. How did Danielle get onto? What lane she in now? She was on 1 and 2, so she'll move left if I'm right. But she's just finishing off here. This was just having 170.
Got a spare, so
180?
192. 192, 880 total, I believe.
It's pretty good.
885. What do they want?
I think that all the people going to be trying stuff might start creeping up now, throwing a little bit reactive maybe.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit of reactive, a little bit more deeper in with urethane. I don't know. Yeah, I think Andrew Hall is playing probably the straightest out of everyone here, which is quite cool. He stayed out of trouble. I don't know if the scores have been updated yet.
No, we have to touch over here. This one. There is. Is everyone done? Yeah, I think so. Let's see if we can get it. Ready? Now I have to wait a minute. We have to wait a minute. But then you just click refresh and it should come up.
That Lova Nilsson, I think it is.
Hmm?
Maybe not. Yeah, she hooks the ball. She can hit it.
She really grips it, yeah.
Really hits the
She's
ball.
not that big, but the way she really grabs the ball under, it's quite spectacular.
Yeah, it's got some great power.
And obviously she can pair.
It's always key for that, right? Marcus Janssen is struggling a little bit now.
Yeah, Marcus has been struggling every single squad. It's quite surprising because he's super good. He's been running around all the lane. I've seen him bowling far outside. I've seen him bowling the deepest inside. I've seen throwing balls this week. It was him. I'm not sure it was this morning or yesterday evening, but he ended up making some shots around 25.
I got that far in, to be fair. I got to, I think, not with with my angles, but my feet definitely got to about 25.
No, he was standing in front of the ball return.
I think on 38, that's a really risky move.
No, when I said 25, I meant the ball in the arrows.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he was the deepest of anyone.
Chase has moved a bit right now with the urethane. I think he's following a little bit what Andrew Hall's doing. Trying to play a little straighter. Mathis is really trying to open up the lane. I think that's risky. Aha.
Yeah, now we got some scoring going on. Top 10, 18 over, so it's not such a high scoring pace on this particular squad. It's a little bit lower, but top 3, top 4 probably quite okay. Kim Bollaby, 948, Andrew Hall, 947, Zacharias Lindquist, 914, David Sutherland, 906, Daniel, 885, and then we have a 40-pin drop to the 6th bowler, which is Emil Beck with 845, and Albin Gullström, 842, same for Chase Nadeau, 840.
Kim Bollaby's just staying patient, staying calm. 230's doing the mark. And
240 to 20, 240 to 20. So
looks very good. Looks very
guessing now it takes 240.
So here we go. Who do you reckon out of the top 3? Because they're pretty close, about 20 pins in it, and then obviously one. Out of them 3, who do you think is going to be the guys going to take the top spot?
I got to see one shot more on Andrew to see what he's doing on this next game. Let's find Andrew Hall.
Lanes 3 and 4.
He's actually going to take a shot now, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I can imagine he's probably still in urethane, playing pretty straight.
I mean, Kim has the advantage that he's bowling on the left side. There's a little bit less of traffic, obviously.
Could also be a harm. You never know. Still in that urethane. It's a little left.
It's probably reaching that spot where the carry isn't that strong anymore. Yeah, it's a good question.
Somebody just messaged me saying we should receive some questions on the live stream, and I feel like after what Man City are doing right now, I don't want the questions. I'd rather just watch the bowling and not think about Man City losing.
Actually, I'm gonna be risky. I'm gonna say Zacharias is gonna take it.
Zacharias.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I didn't even see. David's quite close as well, actually.
Yeah.
I know it's 2 games to go, but that's quite close.
But that was honestly like when you go to buy a lottery ticket and the guy tells
tough,
you
right,
which
yeah.
number do you want. I just give me anyone. If it has to be the right one, it's gonna be the right one.
It's close.
So that was my pick because I couldn't decide between Kim and Andrew, so I decided to pick none of them.
Yeah, on lanes, I think that's 11 and 12. Timothy Tam's playing. He's from Singapore. He's a motive stuffer. I don't know what he's throwing right now, but
It's a tank.
looks like he's grinding.
Oh, but that's a spur shot.
Yeah. He was throwing that yesterday on the fresh. I was quite shocked. I've not seen a yellow jacket go down the lane in a while.
I have to say, there are very ugly balls on the urethane line in motive.
New purple and black one's pretty nice.
But what was the grey one called? Carbide.
Oh, the carbide tank.
That was so ugly. That was so ugly.
There was a few. The new Rampage was nice, the red one, but the Shadow Tank, the new one's pretty nice. But the yellow one, I actually got on with that a little bit at first, and then as soon as the surface came off of it, I was like, maybe not.
Yellow balls are terrible because I remember I actually had the original Sunstorm back in the 90s. Now that nobody can hear me, it was one of the worst ranking balls ever I have tried. If I put the worst balls ever, my top 3 worst balls ever, number 1 is a white ball from AMF called XS. It was a crazy thing that Mo Pinel designed when the reactives started, because it came right after the Ninja, which was the first AMF reactive ball. Now I'm taking it to the museum.
Hey, I've got 2 sumos at home sat in the
Oh
boxes.
my! I'll tell you later on when we are not online. How was my sumo? And I actually used that on the World 10-pin Masters on TV. You remember the sumo, the sumo guy?
Yeah.
It has a special drawing.
Oh wow!
Like this and 2 fingers, and every time I was on camera, it was The camera was seeing that, and I was like, oh my goodness. But the second worst ball, I would say, it was the 8 ball by Ebonite.
Okay.
It was a reactive ball that looked like the 8 ball of the you know, the pool
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
billiard. And number 3, I would say the original Sunstorm. That was terrible,
Really?
terrible.
Oh,
And I
wow.
still remember the marketing of that ball was that they did something different with the core. And instead of making the pins fly, it was supposed to make the pins
Okay.
get to the ground and scramble.
Well, that looked pretty good from Timothy. I'm not sure what he's throwing. I think it is a red ball. It could be the Primal Rage Evolution. That one. It's pretty good. Pretty good ball.
Is that is there any Asian market also for the multi balls that they release like different stuff than they
Like
do?
Asia releases.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's some. One of my friends actually. He's from Hong Kong. He was he came back with some random venom. Yeah, it was like this bluey and black venom with like this orange writing. Never seen it before. Completely different core, completely different cover, and it looked amazing. I was like, I really want one of those.
Was it more on the line of the hyper venom or more on the line of the black venom?
I would say it's closer to the black venom than anything.
Okay. Control then.
Yeah, it looked really good. I don't know if he still has it, but he would used to come back every year. He used to go back to Hong Kong and see his family, and he used to come back with like 3 or 4 brand new Asia releases, and I'm like, half these look so good, but there's like I think there's a blue 78 from Storm out there, right? Something like that. A different color concept out there, a purple concept, I think it is. I've always
the purple concept I've seen there. Yeah.
I wonder what those are like. Are they allowed on the PBA and stuff, or?
Honestly, I have no idea. In Spain, from time to time, we bring some one of those just for fun,
wow.
because people, I've seen online this special one, and then you have to find it on the Asian market and import, and obviously the ball ends up costing 350 euros for the customer. But if he wants that ball, what can you do?
No,
So
yeah,
you
of
just
course.
order it.
It's pretty cool, those. It's pretty cool. The Asia releases are really cool, and I think that maybe some of the guys from Singapore and that might bring some stuff over. Who knows? I don't know if it's allowed, but
it should be. Let's have a look around and see where our leaders are standing. I think Kim is bowling here. Yes, he's got 9 spur, double 9 spur.
So keeping it clean.
He's actually gonna take his shot now, so we can see what he's doing. And what was Andrew playing? Andrew Hall.
Andrew Hall's on the first. He's on lane 4. He's gone
lane 4.
Strike 9 spare 7-2-8-1.
Okay, we'll go back to there. Let's have a look at Kim at the moment. He's gonna take his shot on lane 16.
So smooth. He's so good. Pretty deep.
I was gonna say he's moving deeper, yeah. And that's probably the reason why he's got so many single pins now.
I think with that case of moving left with urethane, I think that because it's so short, it will see the lane so early. It could cause issues like that, but it seems like he's not got that much issue, and he'll take a 9 spare out of it.
And for those who wonder, when he said moving left, is because we are right-handed bowlers, and we were thinking, in
right.
this case, Kim was obviously moving right. So just in case someone goes like,
Yeah, I apologise.
No worries. I do that all the time.
Like you say, Marcus Janssen on his super left now.
It's getting deeper, yes. He's getting deeper. As I said, he seems to be testing every single thing out there and not really finding what he wants to do and what's going to work for him. So Kim took the spare. Let's have a look at Andrew Hall.
He's just taking his spare just there.
So he's got the strike spare, open frame, and spare.
I wonder how Zacharias is getting on from 3rd place. I don't know what lane he's on. Can't keep up with it.
I think it's on 19 and 20.
19 and 20. Yeah, he's gone.
Double split spare. Bowling with Chase on 19 and 20.
Chase is doing pretty okay now. He's playing a little straighter. Andrew Hall's gone from urethane now. I think he's throwing a Intel, and I'm not sure I think it's an Intel. I saw this pink thing Math is throwing. I think it's very similar to that.
Who's it bowling for, Andrew?
Andrew Hall bowls for Brunswick.
Brunswick.
Intel Tour.
It's so many balls out there. It's hard to remember them all.
It's not too hard for Motive because there's only one company, but I could never imagine being like if I was a part of one of the other companies and just having to sit there and read all the bowling balls and everything.
For me, it was I get used to it obviously because I bowled for Storm. I used the 3 brands, and that was mostly the only things that we were selling on the pro shop. So obviously, since I had to do the reviews of the 3 brands, I knew exactly what every ball was doing. But when I became a free agent, I said to myself, I think I want to try some different balls from other brands as well, so I can have better information not only of SPI but everything else.
Yeah, Kim did the same thing. I think Kim's now a free agent. Kim Bollaby. I think he's been a free agent for a year now, a year and a bit. But he's been drilling everything, trying stuff and seeing
Trying
stuff.
different things, yeah, why not? It was another open frame for Andrew on 3 and 4. That's 3 open frames out of 6.
That's a bit of a worry.
And he's dropping now. He's going to drop down a few pins unless he starts striking. He can go all the way to 202 if he strikes out. So he's really struggling on this 5th game. And again, on lane 3 and 4, it's always happening there.
Tough pair, that pair. Tough pair. Wonder how Danielle's doing now.
Danielle should be somewhere,
Couple to the left, I think.
unless she moved back to the other side. Ah, she moved the other way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's just sparing.
Sparing.
You got David's on the same thing lane? Yep, David's there. Double, spare, double. Okay, David's maybe making a run. He's playing a little left with reactive. Doing exactly what you said.
Yep. And Zacharias with a very short ball to the pocket. Leaves the 2-4-5.
Very interesting.
So the way it looks now, it's a little bit more between Zacharias now giving away that spur.
Yeah, it's going to look more David and Kim.
David and Kim at the moment, yes. You had that eye, you could see David would come up, yeah?
Who knows? Them 4 are looking really good, and well, Danielle was close, but just sparing now. You got that Manuel Lloris as well on lanes. I think it's 7 and 8, maybe.
Double spare, strike spare, double.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, but he's a little bit low on the scoring. He was only 17 over.
It's always good to find something there.
And the turbos are pretty high. They are already around 280, 279, 280 to get in through the turbo.
Okay, so that's high scoring. Wow.
I'm curious to see if Danielle did change anything. I was still doing the same thing with the IQ78
that's
out
the
there.
IQ78.
Yeah, she's still out there. Maybe moved a little bit further out.
I think she's gone right. Yeah, she's gone further right.
A little bit further outside, yes, to get some more angle. Yeah, but that is a kind of a move we did sometimes back in the day.
Yeah.
Instead of moving in, just move back outside.
That's what everyone says, right? The rule of thumb always mid left and keep in front of the head. But by the looks of it, she doesn't have to in this sense.
But obviously, I was talking before the resin started to.
When you were throwing rubber, right?
Yeah. With the Flintstones.
So Chase has gone to reactive now. A bit tougher for Chase.
And another open frame for Andy Hall. He just missed the 2-8.
Oh wow!
Took only the 8. That is
maybe he's in little trouble.
He's gone. He's gone. If he strikes out, he makes 180.
In your head, what would you do if you're 140 over? You strike out for 180. Next pair, would you go? All right, I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing, or am I going to make a drastic change?
It's a good question. Actually, if I would find myself in that position at the moment, I would probably be ripping off my shirts. And you ask me, and that's the truth. But in terms of strategy, definitely I would not keep on doing whatever he's doing because it's not working. And since the score is going to drop so much for him, he's going to need to do something as a turbo on game 6. So why not waste the last 3 frames trying to find something different to see if you can at least get a high game to end the squad. And in my particular case, obviously, I didn't even bring any urethane, so I would be far away from that.
I feel like the people who are trying to play a little left with anything by it, so it really can't get that 10 pin out. Andrew Hall's trying to stay as straight as possible with that intel, and it's just hooking.
And they got so much urethane going on so long that when they try to move left now, it's not really working for them.
Zach is struggling a little bit now. He's open twice, but he's just not finding it. I think transition's really hitting now, and
Yeah, it was a late transition in this
late
squad.
this squad, yeah.
Very late.
That's the worst time, when they're late. When you played like 3 squads, every time it's the same.
And all of a sudden, yeah.
Bang, your game's like 2 games later.
Kim looking to have a strike on the 9th. He's got a double, 9 spares everywhere, throwing on lane 16. Let's go back to there.
Just 10 pin.
Light in the pocket, 10 pin left for him. But the way it's looking, 9 spare is good.
Keeping it close, keep
it there, make 210 and just do it on the last one.
Uh-oh. Okay. Off the hand, I didn't think I was going to
Nah, it looked a little bit strange, it's true.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew is really struggling.
Yeah, he's maxing out for 170.
171, and he only had 1 strike on this game, which was on frame 1.
That's harsh. It's a hard game.
And David, what was David?
David's on, he went double 8 spare, 3 in a row, 7 spades, and 18.
18, yeah, that's true. We were in there.
He's playing pretty well.
Let's chase it back so we can see Danielle, if she's still also far outside on the other lane. No, that's a little bit deeper on 17.
She tempted. Maybe she's got to straighten up on that lane too. Maybe
that was way too straight, way too weak at the back.
Actually, in my notes, if I'm correct, in my thing, lane 17 did play a little bit more. That lane does look a smidge more.
The biggest difference between pairs I found in my squad was 13 and 14.
Okay.
13 was hooking nothing.
Really?
And I adjusted for 2 shots, 2 to the right. Next shot again, 2 to the right. Still had the same thing. And I ended up slow hooking it on 13 because I moved twice and the ball was doing exactly the same.
I had the same thing with 13 and 14 yesterday, actually. So I got into reactive and it looked pretty good after that.
I cannot bowl, but I can read the lane.
Yeah. And after 13, 14, when I moved to 9 and 10, now that was where the transition happened after game 3, and I was able to shoot 250 there. But these guys seeing the transition super late, and it's very different. Squad. That's what I mean by squad to squad. Squad to squad is going to be so different, especially with the rev rate.
Yes, and for me it was surprising because that happened to be the 6th game, and lane 13 was hooking nothing. While every other lane for the last 3 games I could just send it anywhere. That one forced me to slow down the speed, but it was only on 13. Okay, let's have a look again. Kim Boliby fighting is way on the 10th frame now. See if he can get a double and be super happy.
He needs it to stay on the track.
He's going to be bowling on 15 and 16, so we have a look at him on lane 15. It looks pretty good, but it never made it back. That ball went straight to hell, short to the pocket, and not an easy spare when you are in need.
I think definitely when when he picks this up, because I'm sure he will. When he picks this up, I definitely think he's going to
look at some changes.
Yeah, some sort of change.
Oh. Ooh.
Now that.
Yeah.
That's a bit different. David, if you go to David now, he's on
19, 20, yeah.
19. Well, 17 and 18. He's just left 9.
Yeah, but he's looking good at the moment.
He looked pretty good last night in the squad I played. He looked pretty good actually.
The thing is, the way things are going at the moment, unless something happens on the last game, nobody on this squad is going to make it. Because they're dropping down. Everyone who was up there is dropping down.
Yeah.
I mean, even Kim, that's going to remain with 150 over, he needs a 220 something, 230.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
And Andrew Hall is completely gone. I mean, have a look at what's going on in Andrew's game. 115 after 9.
In my head, I'd be troubled here. I'd be like, wow, okay, I've just cost myself the whole squad. How do I work on that? How do I fix it back? And
Now
gone
he's definitely
really
in a
left,
reactive, or
and he's throwing it really hard.
yeah, it did nothing.
I think you got speed management. Once you move left on this, speed management is key. But I equally think that everyone's I think this is the case with reactive. On this, offer the first squad at least. Could be completely different tonight when I play. But everybody who's throwing that really, really shiny pearl stuff going down the lane with way too much down lane motion. Like way too much down lane motion. I think it's actually going to cost a bit like Marcus Janssen. Like he's struggling a little bit, right? But with Andrew Hall, he's gone the other way, where he's trying to create really forward motion.
Yeah.
And the ball is already doing most of its work in the first
Part of the lane.
Yeah, first part of the lane,
and
'cause it's so short.
leaves nothing for the end.
I think you need someone with a bit of a medium core. It's
Yes.
smoother. Could still go with Pearl. I went with Pearl last night. But he looks like he's really, really struggling. He's just up at 120. That's Andrew. That's not Andrew Hall. Andrew Hall is a
He went
great
to
bowler.
he went to have some lunch and left his twin brother bowl one game. Matisse found something by the end of the squad
Yeah,
with
Zach-
his reactive.
Yeah, Zach is a little bit shaky here.
Yeah, Zachary is gone.
People are dropping. This is what I was trying to say. This. I'm not potentially saying that it's going to happen, but I think they're going to get super tight, super horrible in the center.
Some squads are going to be very tight because
Yeah.
people starts to lose a little bit of shape, and then they start trying too many things, and then everything becomes a mess.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like bowling the Spanish league again.
I didn't have too much trouble in the Spanish league. I was so far left of everybody.
But
Yeah.
do you remember how it was in the morning when I bowled 230 average, and I said to you, now everyone's going to put that purple hammer on play, and the scores are going to
Yeah,
drop down. And
'cause-
then in the evening, it was a little bit of like anything could happen.
Yeah, I went there. Okay, Chase is throwing. I think it's a concept, maybe on IQ.
I think it was the Ion Pro Solid.
Oh, I am pro solid. Okay, so
looked
there
like-
were so many blue bowling balls.
No,
But that looked pretty good. But yeah, so when I went there and I got told by everybody, oh, Spanish League is a purple fest. I know, okay. And then I went there, and the first block, there was no purple.
no
And
purple.
I was
I
like,
remember, not
oh.
even one.
I said to you, I said,
What's
"You-
happening?
You guys have lied to me here.
Yeah.
Next block, I just see purple everywhere.
But as soon as you told me, I said, don't let them fool you, because they're not scoring and they're gonna put it right away. That's what happens. As soon as they don't bowl 230 average, they put the purple hammer there.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hey, ooh, Zaka is now struggling hard. He's now down to 90 over.
Yeah,
80 over.
he dropped down to 70 something over, so he needs a 300
Chase
on
is
the
having
last
a really good game here.
one. Oi, that was very far for Matisse.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness, look at that. What a shame I didn't trick the button on instant replay, because we
Oh
could have seen that
my.
one. That really was far. And that, I believe it's the Ion Solid.
Oh wow.
It's very angular at the back, same color. The only other color I've seen like that, it was the Idol
Cosmo.
Pro.
Oh yeah, the pearl.
Idol Pro. Because they had the Idol and the Idol Pearl, then the Idol Pro, which I didn't like. And then the Idol Cosmos was pretty good. A little bit early,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a good combination with the IQ Emerald.
Okay. Okay.
So you could use one for starters on fresh and then chase.
So right now it's looking a bit. David is the one who's really commanding it right now. He's on 127 over, and Kim's on 140. But he's had 190 that game, where David's still smooth on the 220. I'll be more confident in David having something than Kim, but obviously Kim's Kim, right? So I'm sure he will find in the next pair. Maybe it's just an odd pair. Zacharias is having 160. Andrew had 120, so he's down to 70 over now.
Yeah, it would definitely was a very expensive fifth game for most of the top-seeded bowlers in this
I've
squad.
got to say that must be the transition now finally taking effect for most people. Off of that 120, because it looks like he changed the ball, but he didn't really change the speed or anything. Would you try and slow down a bit, or would you just say, okay, new ball?
I would slow down. I would slow down. Especially when you get so frustrated in the middle of the traffic, I just move far away from the traffic and bowl what I call the safe shot, a little bit slower speed, easy to control. Put a lot more attention on trying to hit the pocket.
Mhm.
and
Get back into it.
even don't go too crazy on worrying if the carry is not there, and play it a little bit safer. Yeah, there is a cable. I'm glad that you cannot hear this noise online, but in here sometimes we have such a noise. It's quite annoying.
Some loose wiring maybe.
Hmm?
Andrew Hall's now moved lane on 7 and 8.
It's going to 7-8, and
7 pin.
he's probably going to stick to what he was doing on the first 4 games,
Mm-hmm.
just to see if it was only one pair that wasn't playful for him.
Danielle, I think, is maxing out at 199. On lanes at 17 and 18.
Yeah, she's going to take her last shot of the game. Oh, she moved also for the iron solid.
Pretty interesting.
It looks a lot better.
Looks a lot better. And she's a little straighter than everyone else as well,
Mm.
obviously, due to her rev rate and stuff. You got Marcus Janssen on lanes 9 and 10. He's pretty deep now. It looks like everyone's getting pretty deep now, actually. There's another player there. Manuel Luis. I feel like the youth throw it very hard now. I feel we all throw it really hard.
Oscar style?
Maybe not that hard.
Not that hard, yeah.
Yeah, Oscar, there's levels, I think. And Oscar throws it pretty hard. I reckon TJ Rock and Brandon Bone actually could compete with Oscar.
Yes.
Them two.
believe.
Oh, they're
I
here this
believe.
week as well. I reckon if they can keep in front of them, they will score a bunch throwing it that hard. Nate Purchase throws it pretty hard too,
Mm.
actually.
True. When is he arriving?
He arrives Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so I'm rooming with him this week actually. It'll be pretty good.
Have some fun, eh?
Oh, he only makes it fun. Kim is at 19 and 20. He's just had a strike, so he's back on form by the looks of it. Theo Steen's pretty good. He's actually just moved into the area of Helsingborg. Theo Steen on lanes. I think
15 to...
yeah, 15.
I think it's here.
Yeah, so Theo Steen on the left there. He's just taken the 7, but he is pretty good, pretty smooth as a two-hander. Zacharias slowed down, moved left.
It looked better.
Yeah, Theo's super smooth for his two-hander. Here's Timothy, good old motive player. Still throwing the Primal Rage Evolution, I think that is.
Mm.
He throws it hard as well.
Maybe we should have a look on the refreshing scores to
Yes. they
make
should be
sure that
ready
we
there.
haven't forgotten of anybody. There we go. So we have Kim on the lead with 141 over.
The scores have dropped.
David Sutherland, a second with 1127. Danielle, 1084. Albin, 1076, made his way back there. Zacharias dropped down a lot. Andrew Hall dropped down even more. I think he jumped to the parking. Then we have Chase Nadeau, Emma Back, Manuel Lariz, and Jonathan Winning with 1022. Looks like probably only top 3 more or less seem to have a true option. Danielle also has the ladies window.
Kim on 20 moves way deeper. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, you got a good strike over there.
Some pretty good bowlers around right now. And the score's just, it's quite interesting. Either a squad absolutely blows up and goes 1400 for like 3 of them or 4 of them, or it sits around 140 over.
And this one started pretty strong.
Yes.
But then
Started very
all
strong.
of a sudden, it slowed down a little bit, and then this last 5th game was a killer machine for many of them.
Yeah. If you watch Theo Steen 16, this super smooth. I'm sure he'll find a way.
Theo?
Yeah, he just moved into the area about 2 months ago
Hmm.
with his girlfriend.
Where is he originally from?
I'm not 100% sure. You might know better. Falkenberg.
Ah, so he's Swedish.
Yeah. Theo's Swedish. But he's super smooth. For a two-hander, I really, really like how he plays. The smoothness. And that's what you were talking about with Ethan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got good control on the release for the specials as well.
There's some really good Swedish bowlers. It's a bit like Finland in that sense as well.
Yes.
It's like when you go play with Ballmaster or something, and you see there's 60 Finnish guys that you've never heard of, and they average 240. And it's like, oh, okay.
That's one of the things I used to tell them down there, because I came up to bowl with Thomas and the guys like once every month or every 2 months. And when I went down there, I said, I mean, you guys don't realize that if we bring down 100 bowlers, not the top 25, but from 25 to 125, none of us would be on the national team down here. They have so much. It's probably easier to win a European medal than becoming the Swedish champion or the Finnish national champion.
I'm sure Martin, who just walked in, could answer that. But it's, I think the Swedish and the Finnish pedigree of bowlers are just so good in Europe, especially. Norway's got some good players as well. I think it's maybe Scandinavia in general, Denmark, Matthias Ankertel and them guys. And
but I can understand as well. I mean, we spend 6 months a year in the beach. And
well, Spain's a bit different.
They have no chance to be on the beach, so it's like, what do we do? Let's go to the bowling alley instead.
Yeah, see, England's the other way. We struggle to get in the centres to bowl because, well, it's always raining and everyone's in there, so it's quite hard to get our own sessions in and stuff like that. But like recently, it's been like heat wave after heat wave in England, so it's been pretty nice to get in the centres actually because there's AC in there. So that's
they are out there, and they leave some room for you guys to go in.
Yeah, I'm very lucky for where I train. I think Richie and Ben are pretty lucky where they train, so they're pretty good.
So
Mathis trying to play the whole lane. I feel like these are interesting, very interesting scores right now. I think it's getting tougher and tougher as the squad goes on. That was a good shot.
Oi, that was pretty
Kim
close
got
to nearly 5-7-10,
Yeah.
nearly 5-10, but then it was only the 10.
Yesterday I did that almost. I went
Really?
I went pretty light, not super light, but I went a little light swisher. And I will see as a 5-pin rock and a 7-pin fall, and actually the 7 and the 10 fell at the exact same time. I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. So are you gonna be playing next squad?
I don't know. They have to tell me. But I think it got full, right? The next squad? They will let me know. I'm almost a pacer.
Okay.
I'm kind of a pacer.
Nah, I reckon you'll make the cut.
So whenever there is some free spot and they need somebody to fill it in, they're going to tell me, go up there and do something. It's full?
It's full.
I'm pretty happy, to be honest.
You can sit here and commentate.
I don't feel like bowling at the moment.
That's fair. You got Emil back on 20. Not sure how he's been bowling today. A little bit tough. He doesn't bowl too much. He's in the military.
Uh-huh.
He plays for ESJ. But he's super smooth.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, he's super good. I think he's super good.
Yeah, it looks very good.
You got Nicole Larice over here. Stephanie Larice, sorry.
Stephanie, yeah,
That's
she's
sister. My bad,
really, really, really talented. I actually was talking to her online a couple of times. I'm going to suggest a small change on the technique, a very small change. I think it's going to be super beneficial for her.
What's that go from one-handed to two?
No, her father is a coach. He was here yesterday.
Team Swedish coach, I
I
think.
spoke to him and I said, I think I want her to try this. And he really liked the idea. He said, go ahead, talk to her. And it's a very small change. But I'm not going to talk about it online because first I want to talk to her. And I don't think it's polite to explain what she should change before I have talking to her.
To be fair, I don't think, like, in my head, I don't think anyone should tell people what they change until they've done it.
No, exactly.
Why give your secrets away if it works? Why do you want to give your secrets away? You know? As brutal as that sounds, you're not here to lose, are you? Really, you're here to win, right? That's what you're coming here for.
But for me, in a way, when I can, especially when I'm here in Sweden, if I can help some of the young ones, I'm always, that fills my heart. Because for me, it feels like a payback.
Oh, for sure.
I was, Spain, as I said.
Yeah.
Any Spanish bowler becoming a true bowler, it's like, what are you talking about? Is it the Disney movie? And that's what these guys did for me. They brought me up here when I was a kid, 14 years old, and they said, you have a lot of talent, but the way you throw the ball, you're never going to do anything. So we're going to teach you how to bowl properly. And it was not only once. They kept taking care of me for many, many years. And I had a house to sleep. I had bowling alleys to practice on. I never had to pay anything.
That's amazing.
And they are, as I said, they were the best bowlers available in the amateur field, because it was Tim Mag, it was Tori Torgersen, it was Mika Koibinemi, it was Thomas Lee Anderson. So it was the best of the best I got to bowl with. And if I can give back now, it feels like the right thing to do. What are you showing us, Victor?
Oh. Yes, I see the 8-1, 8 spare, 7-2 strike.
He needs to strike out if he wants to do anything on this squad.
Kim's had 3 in a row, 9 spare, 9 spare. Ooh, that's a lucky one for a mil. Little crossover 10.
If David strikes out, it's 245, unless I'm wrong, 65, 95.
Those pairs, lanes 1 to about
1 to 4 is
maybe
tough.
1 to 6 are pretty tough.
Actually, he needs to strike out to achieve 1372.
Andrew Hall is just sat here sparing a lot.
You said 1365.
Yes.
So he can have one more spare, which is going to be that one, and it doesn't reach your score either. So it's game over for David, unfortunately.
Looks like Kim's going to be the guy.
It's going to be Kim, and whatever Danielle manages to do, see if it's good enough for her to make it on the ladies division as well. She's taking a shot now on lane 14. She's got a couple of open frames. She's back to the IQ. Now it's short in the pocket, 5-pin for her.
Looks like the next squad's going to run a little late. 20 past, 5.
Yes. Yeah, it was a little bit slow. It felt they were bowling a little bit slow, this particular squad.
See, I can't bowl slow. I just can't do it. I have to bowl quick. Like, it's not quick in the sense of I just rush, but like, when it's my go, I go, and I just feel like...
Yeah, the squad I bowled, it was so slow.
I could sleep. Like, Sweet Spanish League, I think we sat there.
You can take
trios and it's so long.
You can take a little siesta between shots.
Yeah. How is that? Because you get your siestas here?
No.
No siestas.
I never did the siesta in my life, I think.
No? What's that like over there? What's all that like, the siestas in Spain?
I think siesta actually was more in the south of the country, more in the area of Andalusia, because, and we are talking about a couple of centuries ago when people was working outside mostly, and it's 6 months a year that from noon till 4 p.m. it's 45 degrees in the sun, so people couldn't work at that time, so they got up earlier, woke up before the sun was out, and then used to sleep those 2 or 3 hours in between in the middle of the day when the sun was so burning that you actually didn't want it to be out there. And that's why the siesta became a kind of a word that everybody knows.
Yeah, and everyone wishes they had. Danielle is struggling a little bit. She's gone back to the urethane now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but you can see on the body language she's not that happy anymore.
Of course not. I don't think anyone's happy. Maybe Kim.
Yeah, I was going to say Kim is probably
Maybe
going to be
Kim.
happy with a couple of strikes more. He's got himself a good situation now with a turkey, 3 spares, and a strike. He could really be happy if he gets one more. It's going to put him...
Kim's at 13.55 on his best. It's still not what I said. It's been interesting. I'll be really shocked if this goes above 1370 for the cup, but I could be so wrong. It could go all the way to 1400.
The thing is, depending on which squad you just witnessed, you have your feelings going one way or the other.
Yeah, I witnessed the squad before this, well, towards the end of that squad, and I witnessed, I've obviously watched this whole squad, and I feel like, like I say, it just reassures the fact that it's going to be squad to squad. You catch a squad maybe with AJ, EJ, all the guys, and you shoot a billion. Or
Mm.
it could be the other way around. Those guys that you've just paired with have way too much overrate, and the lanes look horrible.
Yeah.
And you could actually get a better squad if you played with all the Swedish guys. Who are
It could be actually. It could happen like that. You just think it's gonna become super easy, and you really see how it opens up and how it moves you deep inside. But then you don't have enough power to stay as deep as they are.
Yeah.
Or in my case, I don't have any balls to go that deep.
Oh, you do now.
Bowling balls. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have a new red shiny,
You
and
have
it's
my
gonna
old,
be.
you have my semi-old evolution. I like that ball.
It's gonna be the first time I threw motif.
Ah, you'll love it.
I've never thrown
That's a great
before.
ball. Rasmus Edvald, he loves that ball. Loves it.
Oh, it looks good. I have a couple of customers that they throw it, and it looks pretty good. And it looks like it's that kind of ball that I've always liked, that goes long and snaps at the end.
Yeah.
No, I need those balls. Otherwise, my pin action is not there.
And then you temp in, and you're like, uh-oh. So David's not striking out here. He's having a little bit of a struggle game right now.
It's a lot of striking on 7 and 8 for Oscar Miden.
Yeah, we go to Oscar. He looks pretty good.
Bowling with Andrew, who is still lost in confusion.
Yeah, he maxes out for 170.
189 if he strikes out. 169 if he just spurs
Very
twice.
interesting.
So he's going to shoot 280 on the last 2 games.
Complete change to what the first 4 were there.
I think he understood the concept of the turbo and gave 5 and 6 the wrong way.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to score.
You have to make 280 in 1, not in 2 of them. Okay, I'm officially hating my cable in my headset. I don't know why is it so noisy. But next year I'm bringing my own equipment as a DJ. It's not going to be so noisy.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a rat somewhere trying to bite the cable. I'm not sure. Okay,
So Kim.
Kim. It's back to Kim.
Kim's just stepping up, seeing what's happening. Maybe he'll score a little bit here. He just needs a couple strikes, and he's pretty good.
Okay, we have Kim gonna take a shot. It's 9th frame. Is a very important frame for him. He needs a strike. He actually needs to get this one. That was super deep in the head. So 4 pin left for Kim. Maximum potential score is 224. And that would give him a 1365 actually. It's only going to be 10 pins more than he had before if he strikes out. Otherwise, he's going to tie his current score.
Looking very tough.
It comes and goes. It comes and goes. I don't know.
It's mostly if he gets knocked.
It has to be one of those, but I don't know which one. I think it's that one, yeah. But even if you try to connect it the right way, it's still. I hope it doesn't sound on the stream.
Yeah. So Kim needs a double just to secure something.
It needs a double, and it needs to light a couple of candles, I think. It's after all, it's a Sunday.
It is a Sunday.
Maybe if you have to talk to the Lord, today is the day, you know?
Well,
Maybe I should go down and talk to the Lord a little bit myself.
I pray before every squad, so hopefully the Sunday gives me the squad, right? We'll see how that goes. We can only hope, right?
I usually do the opposite. In Spain we are people of very bad language. So instead of praying the Lord, I usually complain about him. But he knows I have a good heart, so he shouldn't be angry. He knows I don't mean it.
Here comes a mill. He's super smooth. Seems like they're super early today. It looks like the lane's getting earlier and earlier.
Very tricky heads at the moment.
David actually opened that 8-1. So he's had a strike in the 9. On the 8, sorry. Andrew Hall is...
Andrew Hall needs turkey.
He's got to over at least. He's struggling a little bit here. Struck there, that's good.
But he dropped down to 1260 even if he strikes every single frame. All right, it was a little bit of a drop down scoring in the last couple of games. We had a very late transition on this squad, and it was not one of those happy transitions. On the contrary, it was a very demanding one, and it made a lot of struggle around. Oi! It showed the 510 for Kim. Very light short to the pocket, light striking there. Look at that, the messenger taking the 5.
Got to love it.
And he needs one more, otherwise he's going to have the same score. You said 1355, right? For Kim.
If he doubles or if he strikes out?
He needs to strike out to make 10 pins more than he had.
Oh, wow.
So if he now makes 9 spare, he just ties his current score. Yeah, he got a good one. So at least 10 pins extra for Kim in the pocket. And it looks like he's going to be the squad leader, right, Victor? It looks that way. So we're going to have to go and get an interview with Kim, see how he's feeling in his mood.
I reckon after the last couple of scores, I think he'll be a lot happier going into the last squad if he's going to play the last squad. I reckon he'll be a lot happier going into that. He's going to play
that's
the
a
last
very
squad,
bad count for him. 1361. And those 4 pins could be expensive. That could be very expensive. He's probably going to have to rely on the early bird, hoping that is enough. 161 over on the early birds. It was a very tight last couple of games for everybody on the field. But we're going to say goodbye for now. Dan, thank you for your time, man. It was a big pleasure to have you here. Chatting together, having some fun, and
it's always good time.
Learning a little bit more about bowling for everybody out there. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you around. I'll see you out in the lanes, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm playing at 5, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool. See you later, everybody. We'll be back with next squad. More action, more bowlers, more pins, and that's what it is. Olympia 2026 Storm Lucky Larsen Masters will be back.
Okay, that concludes squad 8 of this year's Stormac Larsen Masters, and the tournament crew actually have to admit have made a mistake, and the mistake was that the schedule of this squad, the second squad of the day, was scheduled half an hour later than it should be. Don't ask us why we didn't notice until now, but that makes us a little late into the last squad. So this last squad, 5 p.m. squad, will run a little late. We'll guess maybe like 20 minutes or so, but Tom is gonna wax the lanes here, and you will notice as soon as it gets close, we'll do our normal procedure, but probably like 20 minutes late. So if there's anybody that just bowled, that will bowl the next squad as well, we'll let the kitchen know. If you want to eat, you have a little VIP line into the to order your food. So it will be a little tighter than normal. We apologize for that, but so thank you very much.